life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Get going.
Well, it is the other attraction to the Super Bowl. We're talking about the ads this morning, but just because many of them made you laugh, it doesn't mean that they were effective. And that's where we bring in Louie Moses this morning, one of the founders of Moses & Shell, an ad agency based right here in Phoenix. Good morning to you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm thinking the game at your house is all about watching, not the game, but watching the ads.
Well, luckily that was a good game. So
it was.
Between the game and the commercials, it was a good 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, right? But I mean, truly, you're dissecting the commercials as they come up on air.
Well, I know we're going to talk about them today, and really the advertisers spent $3.5 million to get the pre-talk, you know, the post-talk, and that's really why, you know, you have to dissect them and analyze them and take notes and everything else. But it was fun. I mean, we were tweeting during the whole game and watching what other people were saying and talk about Madonna. So it was fun. It was,
and there was a lot to be tweeting and talking about too. So we're going to be visiting with you throughout the morning, but we're going to talk about the ones that you liked first. So let's begin with one that's all about the NFL.
Come on, guys. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Oh! Again.
Ready?
And you liked this one, obviously.
Yeah, the one, there was another NFL spot too that was all about a timeline that happened right before halftime that was really effective. And the NFL seems to really make a connection between what they're doing in the community and how the history of the NFL plays into it. And I think since it's such an American sport, I think that the 100 million people watching it really related to it.
Yeah, from all over the world. Okay, you and I talked about this during the break, and this was by far my favorite, the one for Chrysler starring Clint Eastwood.
Yes.
And we'll take a closer look at it in just a moment, but this is a company, in case you don't know, that did take a taxpayer bailout. There's been some buzz about this online. A spot for the Super Bowl, what, cost $3.5 million for 30 seconds, okay?
$3.5 million, and this was a 2-minute spot.
So, Matt, you do the math there, but a lot of people are wondering, is it right for them to spend that kind of money to say America is getting back on track?
Well, it was. I think that the concept was so powerful because what it did is it reminded us of why these companies and why football in America are really powerful, and for that message to come through loud and clear and touch so many people, I think is why Chrysler needs to be acknowledged this morning, because I think it was way more than a political message. I think it was a rallying cry, and I think it also was a pep talk, a halftime pep talk.
Well, what was so interesting, because you just said it, they tied it into what was going on inside the locker rooms at that very moment.
Right.
And it kind of gave us an inside track as to what it's like to be an NFL player in that game. And then all of a sudden you hear this incredible raspy voiceover from Clint Eastwood kind of telling it like it is.
Right, and he's such a great performer. It was so well written that it took a performer at his level to really deliver that message. And that's what I liked about that spot, and even the NFL timeline spot, is that it really touched a nerve, and it wasn't going for the easy pie in the face or the slapstick thing. It was relating to the consumer and making me feel good about the product.
There were, you know, a lot of dogs and a lot of animals, and it seems like the creativity really needs to come up a notch. This all has to do with what's going on YouTube, because there's so many great things to see out there every single day.
Well, it used to be when we'd watch the Super Bowl, if there was a talking chimp or there was a special effect, that was a big deal. But you know, my youngest son can click on YouTube every morning and show me something funnier.
Right.
And the next day, so it's not like we wait for, you know, January, February when the Super Bowl happens to see a special effect. That's kind of an easy way to do a commercial now. And the hard way is what Chrysler did. I really believe that was such a well-written spot, and a number of spots did that throughout the Super Bowl, and it wasn't really all about humor. I think it was a kinder sort of approach to the advertising
about
this
making
year.
that connection.
Yes.
There was one spot that really got a lot of hype leading up to the game, and this one starring someone those of us who lived through the 80s came to love as Ferris Bueller. Did you like this one?
I loved it. I think that, again, he's such a great actor that he pulled off this story, and the borrowed interest of Ferris Bueller was so effective, and it really showed off the car. If you think about it, the whole reason people are spending $3.5 million is to sell their product. Well, we got a good look at the car, how it was being used, you know, in its real environment, and it gave us all a smile.
Right. No, absolutely, because there were so many references to that movie.
And he pulled it off great too. I mean, it really wasn't a cliche. I think this was a good use of celebrity, whereas some of of the other ones, like Trump was in there, and Seinfeld, and Leno, and you know, Stamos and Howard Stern. I mean, they were all sort of there just as their face, whereas this guy, Ferris Bueller, Matthew Broderick, really played out, you know, the whole story really well.
Cult classic.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you did talk about a few of them that you didn't like, and we are going to be talking about that a little later here on Good Morning Arizona. Always a pleasure to have you here the day after Super Bowl. Fun to get caught up. So we're going to check in with you in a little bit here on Good Morning Arizona. It is 10 minutes before the hour, and we will be right back.
Another way Bridgestone is bringing its tire technologies to the world of sports.
You got it. The same Serenity technology that absorbs road noise with our Turanza tires is being tested here with the help of Tim Duncan and Steve Nash.
So how exactly would this revolutionize the game?
It's quiet.
What's that?
That's our sleeping baby test.
At Bridgestone, our passion for performance knows no bounds.